Hi, I'm Rick from the Whiskey Zone, welcoming you to The Cut Point, the interview series where we get to the heart of the matter. This is the inaugural release, and I'll kick things off by sitting down and talking with Jason Lujick, the owner, proprietor, host, founder of the Oakland Whiskey Library in Oakland, California. So join me as I welcome Jason to the Whiskey Zone Cut Point, and we'll find out together what's happening at the Oakland Whiskey Library. Jason, thanks for coming on.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
From an outsider's perspective, it seems like the hospitality business is a tough one.
That's the rumor. Yeah. It sure is. Long hours, little pay, for sure.
So, what drew you to it?
Service. You know, I was in the Marine Corps for 8 years, and I joined not because I had nothing else to do, it's because I wanted to serve. And I found that I really like to serve people. And not just the idea of the military and America and rah-rah, Marine Corps and all that, but, you know, growing up in restaurants and after, you know, in the Marine Corps and after the Marine Corps in bars, I learned that I really like to do it. I like to see the look on someone's face when I pour them something special and they just light up. It's like, wow, that's just amazing, you know.
This particular place,
Yep.
the Oakland Whiskey Library,
Yep.
It's above a bar.
It is.
And you own the bar downstairs. Mm-hmm. This is not so much a bar as a private club. Is
Correct.
that correct?
Correct.
Why a private club?
So the idea for this came from essentially the Multnomah Whiskey Club in Portland, Oregon. And it's a great place, you know, and I'm not going to step on them at all, but the place is pretentious. And I don't think whiskey should be pretentious. And so when COVID hit, we didn't know what to do with the space. We were sitting on what used to be the stage in a small venue. Okay, so bands and DJs and all that sort of thing used to be up here. COVID hit, we couldn't do that anymore. 6-foot separations and all that, even when we reopened. And we're like, what are we doing with this space? We're paying rent on it. And we just like, well, let's put a little microcosmic whiskey library up there, sort of like Multnomah, but with the sort of like small town regulars, non-pretentious feel to it. And that's really the goal here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have noticed that you've got a very nice whiskey selection behind the bar.
Yeah.
How do you go about choosing those whiskeys? What makes it on the shelf?
That's a great question. And it's something that we talk about a lot. My reps know when something interesting comes across their plate that I'm the first guy that they go to, not because, you know, I'm the man, I'm the whiskey guy, because I'm certainly not, you know, but they know that every single whiskey in this bar, is over 450 whiskeys in this bar, I personally taste and approve of before they go on the shelf.
That sounds like a great job.
It's a great job. It's a great job. It's a great job. I'm not complaining too much. But yeah, so every single whiskey up here is, you know, I taste it, my bartenders taste it, we make the decision together whether it actually earns a space in the place. Because, you know, in the camera you can't see how small this place is, but we're really only 22 seats in here, right? And yes, we have a lot of wall space here, but it gets used up pretty quick. So we have to be very selective with what comes in here, not just this tastes good to us, but will we be able to impart that on the customer? Will we be able to sell that to the customer? So that's, you know, a big factor in it.
Yeah. So
no dusty bottles.
No. So now we have talked before,
Yeah.
and as I understand it, you come from a bourbon
Very much American, I would say.
Yeah.
You know, if I was going to say I'm definitely a rye bourbon American single malt type person. I do love Scotch. I love Japanese. I love whiskeys from all over the world. But if you put me on a desert island, it's probably going to be bourbon.
Okay.
And that's that basic. You know, I kind of have a sweet tooth, and so you have those caramels and those vanillins and all that sort of classic bourbon flavor, and that really appeals to my sense of taste.
A popular question is, people like to say, what was your first, or, you know, why did you start drinking whiskey? I'm more curious about if you can remember what it was that made you buy your second bottle of bourbon.
I'll tell you why I bought my first one. I got really fat, okay? And so I decided when we opened my restaurant, and I was 218 pounds, which does not look good on this frame. And so I decided I'm going to go on the keto diet. I'm going to try this out, and realized that I could drink whiskey. There's no carbs in whiskey. Okay.
I didn't know that.
So
about
my
the
drink was a
keto.
gin and tonic since, forever. And bourbon is keto.
Yeah.
And so I grabbed a bottle of Eagle Rare off the shelf. I heard good things about it, and I drank a lot of it. And, lost 40 something pounds. So
I don't know why they don't use that in their advertising.
I think they should.
Yeah.
High calorie, low carbs.
Yeah.
So not so great if you're not doing keto. It would definitely put some pounds on, which of course it has. But but that's the reason why I switched from clear to bourbon. It's the only reason we're sitting here. Right. In fact, it's because I got fat.
You don't put that outside.
I don't. It should be the slogan. Oakland Whiskey Library. Jason got fat.
So it's also open to customers who join the club.
Correct.
And they can keep their whiskeys here.
Yeah. So one of the benefits of having a membership here is the opportunity to be able to rent out one of these lockers, and it's actually a screaming good deal because the smallest locker is $25 a month. You bring in bottles from the house or store, buy bottles from me, and you can just take them out like you're checking out a book. We weigh out the whiskey, we weigh it back in, so there's no weird improprieties or anything like that. Make sure we're not, taking little sips out of people's expensive whiskeys. But it's a great benefit of the club, and it's a really fun thing when you have a couple, 2-3 people in here with their own lockers, because you'll end up with 40 bottles. Right. Out on the table, and everyone's tasting everybody's whiskey, and it's such a communal thing, and it's probably my favorite thing to see in here.
Nice. So,
and going back to the public thing, when we do our guided tastings here, we reserve a couple 4 to 5 tickets for the public. So it gives the public non-members the opportunity to buy a ticket to come to a tasting, check out what we do, and so you don't necessarily have to jump into the deep end with the club to come to one of these tastings and see exactly what this place is about.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How's membership going right now?
We have a lot of members. And we get more every week. The funny thing is about a membership club is you can have 100. I think we have 150, 160 members right now. I don't know the exact count right now, but you'll end up with a core group of 20 that come in on a regular basis. And then everybody else is kind of like in love with the idea of having a membership, to a whiskey lounge like this, and then maybe never showing up.
Right.
So it's kind of an interesting.
It's like joining a gym.
Yes. Yeah. Maybe we'll get a lot of people in on January 1st.
Yeah. Well, if you tie it into the keto diet.
Indeed. That's really got to be a core part of our business moving forward. Put some weights in the corner there and really go for it.
To do something like this, you are obviously an entrepreneur.
Sure.
Besides making a profit, as an entrepreneur, how do you judge success?
Okay, so great question again. And I'm going to say something that a lot of people are going to go, whatever. But when I left the corporate world after 13, 14 years and bought this place, the bar downstairs, and the business, my goal was retirement, of sorts, not realizing that I had bought a 50-hour-a-week job, but it was really to benefit my employees, and my goal, as far as like my litmus test for success is giving them the opportunities that I didn't have growing up, and the opportunities to actually love what they do and love the job that they're in. And so really profitability is all important. Of course, it is a business and we have to pay bills. But my primary goal is to make sure that they're taken care of and that they love what they do. Because you'll never find a more genuine and dedicated employee than a happy employee. So I've never understood how some owners treat their staff like second-class citizens, and like, well, no wonder you can't keep your staff.
Right.
So that's a big thing for me.
This space is beautiful.
Thank you.
What was your design idea when you were putting this together?
Yeah, so we wanted it to be wood and leather, and sort of that play on that Multnomah style, old sort of men's club cigar lounge style, but a little bit of modern twists here and there, hence the lighting schemes and the stucco walls and that sort of thing. And one of our regulars actually is an architect, and he designed the entire place, and I just kept writing him checks. And he kept spending the money, and that's how you end up with a place like this.
Yeah.
It's really quite simple. Just keep writing
the
checks.
tables are beautiful.
The tables are a unique, one-of-a-kind design that he also designed. And then another one of my regulars actually did all the metal work for the tables. And another one of my regulars did all the planing. All these tables, they are all constructed from the same tree that fell over in Berkeley during a storm about 2 years ago. So all the wood you see on the tabletops, that all comes from that one tree. And I sort of like how that sort of centers it in a very local way. We didn't just pop out to IKEA and buy some cheap furniture, but very expensive too.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
I'm very proud of it.
Talking about whiskey.
Sure.
Do you have an aha moment in whiskey? Is there something that you've had, something maybe that you were looking forward to getting, that when you got it, it really was that, oh my God, this is so good?
Wow, that's another great question. I have a sort of a tier system for whiskey, and it comes from my nerdy video game, hobby, where you got F tier all the way up to S tier, right? So F through A and then superior. And I thought when we first opened this space that I was drinking S tier whiskey, and I was proven utterly incorrect by that, right? Because the whiskeys I thought that were just delicious, your Buffalo Trace lines, your BTAC, and some of your delicious stuff from Heaven Hill and all that sort of thing. People now, would say, oh, only potatoes drink those whiskeys. Well, now I understand why, because there's so many whiskeys that are easily attainable that are just incredible, right? So it wasn't necessarily a watershed moment or an aha moment for a single whiskey, but the realization that there's stuff out there, no-name stuff, that is absolutely killing the game. And every time I get to discover one of those, every time one of my reps brings one of those across my bar, I'm like, oh God, another no-name whiskey. It's going to taste like peanut butter and whatever. And then you pour it out and you're like, it's a wonderful, discovery of whiskey. And I think that's one of the great benefits of being able to do what I do. And it blows my mind every time.
Mm-hmm. How about the people?
Yeah.
Is there somebodies that you've had the opportunity to meet in the whiskey industry that were like impressed you, that they were like people you'd heard about, people that you were looking forward to meeting, and you met them and they lived up to the expectation?
I mean, I got to meet Freddie from Buffalo Trace. This year we went to pick a single barrel Buffalo Trace, and we had the very good fortune that Freddie was the guy that's going to sort of bring us through the distillery and do the tasting with us. And he talked about his family history. And I think a lot of people that are going to watch this video, they know how long his family's been part of Buffalo Trace.
So 3 generations?
3 generations, yeah. And, he grew up at the distillery as a little kid, running around. And it was such an interesting sort of look inside of his life and the distilleries, and so how they intertwined. But he's a brilliant man and just a really nice guy, and he signed our barrel for us, and nice. It was really fun.
Yeah,
it was really fun. He's a great experience.
So you mentioned the barrel, and earlier you mentioned people who have the lockers could buy something from you. So you sell whiskey as well here? Yeah, so we do sell. So right now we have 3 single barrels in stock. By the end of the year, we'll have 7. So we do afford off-premise sales for that, because that's still allowed under COVID rules for some reason. And also you can buy a bottle like that, for your locker. And a lot of these lockers have our bottles in them. So nice. Yeah, it's a really fun sort of experience to go out and pick out these barrels. And the last one we brought in was a Westward single barrel stout cast finish. And they brought me
westward, brought me 12 different single barrels samples, and we whinnied those down. The staff and I whinnied those down to 4, and then
Again,
we brought
another
in
tough part of the job.
very tough,
Yes.
very tough, very tough. When we selected those 4, we brought those to the members, and we did a ranked choice vote on it. And so the members got to pick that. Hence, we called it the Wisdom of Owls. So I like to bring the members into as much as we can.
Yeah.
So
That's great.
yeah.
You're a bartender, you're
Sure.
a bar owner, you've got this space. There must be more in your repertoire than just drinking whiskey. Are you a cocktail guy too?
I am primarily an old-fashioned guy,
Okay.
right? And both ways. I love a rye old-fashioned. That's my sort of go-to drink, but I love cocktails of all kinds. And my partner, Alyssa, she's a hell of a cocktailer, and if you've had any of the cocktails here, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a really fun process, building a new cocktail menu. We do that 4 times a year, and 3 to 4, depending on how busy we are. And that process of creating new cocktails is a really fun one, and we absolutely have a great time doing it. But yeah, definitely into cocktails and, well, whiskey neat, of course.
So if somebody is in the area
Yeah.
and they're curious about the Oakland Whiskey Library, what would you suggest as far as them being able to come and check this place out?
It's really easy. We're open here Thursday, Friday, Saturday from 6 until 11, and I'm always here. So if you walk in, and you'll probably see me, I'm running around, I'm usually wearing a suit.
He's the guy that looks like that.
I'm the guy that looks like this. Or you can always ask the bartender, hey, is Jason here? Or, do you mind if I go up and check it out? And almost always the answer is yes. So, because I
Cool.
want people to see this space. I want
yeah.
people to enjoy it.
It's a beautiful space.
Thank you.
Yeah. I guess that's pretty much all I had.
Okay.
Other than, I don't know, what are your favorite pizza toppings?
I'm not going to say pineapple and ham.
Good.
I'm not trying to get beat up on the internet.